Guys, I had one of the weirdest dreams of my life last night, and I think it deserves to be shared with all of you. Now, the first part of my dream wasn't that spectacular. I was at a friend's house with a couple of friends. We were enjoying some drinks, having a good time, cracking jokes, when suddenly, bam, out of nowhere, I heard a loud noise. Someone kicked in the door of my friend's house, and just as I turned around to see what the heck was going on, I saw Donald Trump. Donald fucking Trump staring at me with a look filled with nothing but pure anger. I was terrified, and as he started to charge towards me, I just got the hell out of there. I ran through the back door and I just ran for my life. Even though I'm not Latino, you won't mess with Donald Trump. So as I was running, I suddenly noticed that something was pushing me up, and as I looked on the ground, I saw that I was levitating. And at that moment, something inside of me told me, wait a second, this can't be real. This has got to be a dream. And at the same time, all my feelings of anxiety and panic suddenly subsided. And I was actually aware of what was happening in my dream, during the dream as it was happening. So then I consciously decided for some reason to fly over the city to see my house from above. But as it turned out, the city wasn't the way I remembered it to be. And after a couple of minutes of fruitless search, I finally woke up from this dream, might I call it. To wrap it all up, I became aware of the fact that I was dreaming during the dream. Insane, right? Yeah, but I gotta come clean with you here. This isn't the first dream like this that I ever had. And in fact, I'm not the only person to ever have had such an experience of becoming aware that you're dreaming during the dream. Far Eastern philosophers and Greek philosophers already reported about this phenomena over 2.5 millennia ago. And in fact, you might have heard of it too. It's called Lucid Dreaming. Now hold on, it gets even better. Inducing lucid dreams is a skill that can be obtained by almost anybody. And I am here to show you just how to do it. This is actually the first video in a 3-part series about lucid dreaming. Now why 3 entire videos, you might ask? Well, I want to give you a detailed view on lucid dreaming. I don't want to step in front of a camera and talk 5 minutes about a blog post that I found somewhere on the internet. No. I want you to be able to understand what is going on inside of your head and inside of your body during lucid dreams. I want you to know why it is 110% cool to have lucid dreams and how you can benefit it. And I also want to show you the various methods that you can use to achieve lucid dreaming, just for you to know what works best for you. Okay, so now you know that ancient philosophers and mystics have talked about this topic already 2.5 millennia ago. But what does science say about lucid dreaming? Well, since the early 20th century, various scientists have looked into this topic. But the most notable one, in my opinion, is Professor Dr. Stephen LaBerge. He conducted a series of scientific experiments at the University of California, Berkeley during the 1960s, the wild 1960s, and was the first scientist to actually prove the existence of lucid dreaming. If you want to read more about his research, I'd gladly recommend you his book, Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming. I have to say, it has been a huge source of information for this video, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Stephen, for writing this compendium of information. But let's take a step back first. Let's make sure we're all on the same level and that we know the basics. Just as driving a car would be impossible if you don't know how to activate an ignition, it's just as difficult to manipulate your dreams if you don't even know what's happening in your body and in your mind during your sleep. But honestly, what is sleep? What happens during your sleep? Well, it's actually not that easy to define sleep, but it's generally agreed upon that sleep brings that sleep comes with an altered state of consciousness, one that is right between wakefulness and hibernation, one where your interactions between you and the outside world are limited to a minimum, and where your body builds up its various systems, like the skeletal system and the muscular system. Now, if you were to imagine someone sleeping, what would he look like? He'd probably be laying on his bed, motionless, for several hours, right? And you're not that wrong, but just as there are two sides of a coin, there are also two kinds of sleep, you see. There's the quiet phase, and there is the active phase, also known as REM sleep. REM is an abbreviation for rapid eye movement. And furthermore, quiet sleep can be categorized into 3 stages, which directly correspond with 3 stages of consciousness. During the first one, you're kind of in a transitional state between drowsy wakefulness and light sleep. You enter this stage directly when you go to bed and close your eyes. The second one, directly following, can be characterized by sparse, mundane, and thought-like mental activity. At this stage, you're not really aware of your surroundings anymore. It's also called bona fide sleep, and is followed by the so-called delta sleep. Delta sleep gets its name from the regular slow brain waves during this stage, which are called delta waves. This is the stage of sleep that many people describe as deep sleep. During deep sleep, it's almost impossible to wake someone up. But you might be surprised to hear that it is not the phase during which you dream. In reality, there's relatively little reported dream content from the quiet phase. After the quiet phase comes the active phase, REM sleep, as I'm going to call it in the future. This is where the magic happens. All of your dreams, including lucid dreams, happen during the REM sleep phase. During REM sleep, one's muscles in particular are paralyzed, and your mental state is very similar to a waking state. Your brain is very active. Matter of fact, if you've opened someone's eyelids before while they were sleeping, and their eyes were moving around rapidly, it's very likely that they were in the rapid eye movement phase. I have no idea why you would have done it, but just to make this clear, I don't advocate doing it. Anyways, your sleep is not a linear journey from quiet sleep to active sleep and waking up. Think of it more as a cycle, which you go through approximately 6 times in a single night. So you'll wake up approximately 6 times in a single night, even if it's just for a couple of seconds. You also might want to know that as the time increases, the phases also get longer too. So you'll have your longest REM sleep phase right before waking up. But hold on now, where does lucid dreaming come in? Good question. Scientists say that it's possible that lucid dreams happen during your REM sleep, right before you wake up, which would mean that certain areas in your brain, which would only be activated in a waking state, are already working, while at the same time your brain is still sort of simulating a dream state. Neuroscientist J. Allen Hobson even hypothesized that certain areas in your brain might get activated by you realizing that you're dreaming during a dream. One of these areas would be the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, a part in your brain that is also responsible for your working memory as well as abstract reasoning, which could probably explain why your perception of time in a lucid dream is very similar to that one in a waking state. However, why these areas are active during your lucid dream is not yet known, but all we know is that they need to be active in order for a lucid dream to happen. As already mentioned, lucid dreams are primarily triggered by you realizing during a dream that you are dreaming because of some weird thing happening. But I've talked a lot about how lucid dreams are created, how we could explain them and what they are, but let's talk about how you can benefit from them. What good are they? They are quite good. I have to say that I can't really find the right words to express just how much lucid dreaming has changed my life for the positive. It really did. Before I started lucid dreaming, accidentally, 6 months ago, I was a really introvert and shy kid. I didn't really want to share a lot about what I thought. I kept myself very reserved. But now I feel like I'm much more happy, much more outgoing. I'm more willing to take risks with my life. And here's the shocker. It could have the same benefits for you too. Now, I cannot assure you 100% that it will have the same effects on you. Dreams are something very personal. They differ from person to person. But I am very sure that it will have some sort of positive effect on you. At the end, you have to try it for yourself. You have to be your own guinea pig. But here's an example how it helped me. See, I am an intermediate guitarist. I wouldn't go as far as say I'm a professional, but I'm certainly not a beginner. I've been playing guitar for almost 5 months now. And the first public concert I had was barely 2 months after I first held an electric guitar in my hand. So you could understand that my head was filled with anxiety. Nothing but toxic anxiety. There was nothing in my mind except for this anxiety, this fear of fucking my performance up. And then out of nowhere, miraculously, the night before my performance, I had a lucid dream. In that lucid dream, I was on stage, I was playing my set, and it was just wonderful. I was there in the moment. And during the concert, which went so great, I realized that, wait a minute, this isn't real, but it feels so real. Maybe I could do it. I could do it like this in real life. It's not that hard, you see. People seem to like it. And when I woke up, my headspace was not filled with anxiety anymore, but with confidence, positivity. And that's a great thing. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, we're approaching the end of the video. So if you want to know about the various techniques to induce lucid dreaming, I welcome you to watch our next video. But I'm going to show you something that you can do in preparation and that you actually should do in preparation, so that in the next video we can directly jump into getting into lucid dreaming. The first thing, guys, this isn't even just about lucid dreaming. This is about your health and the quality of your life in general, is get a fixed sleep schedule. Now, I don't know at what age you are. For young adults like me, typically the optimal amount of sleep each night is between 7 and 8 hours. If you know at what time you absolutely have to get up, you can take a look at your watch and try to figure out at what time you can go to bed, and try to keep this timetable constant. Try to stick to it. So many more benefits, and you're going to look more refreshed in the morning when you sleep enough, and you'll be able to better organize your day. But not just that, do you actually remember what you dream every night? Not everybody does. I sure didn't. And that's why I had to start with something called a dream journal. I used a notebook. You really could use anything. You could use an app on your smartphone. You could use post-it notes, whatever suits you. Just, it should be something where after you get up in the morning, you try to remember as much as possible about your dreams, so you can write them down, which forces your brain to, try to remember. What did I dream about? What did I dream of? Was there something special? You do this in order to tell your brain that remembering your dreams is sort of a high priority thing, because let's look at it this way. Why should you learn how to manipulate your dreams, how to gain awareness during your dreams, if you can't even remember what you dreamt about after you wake up? So if you can't remember your dreams, the first couple of days, you're probably not going to have any recollection of your dreams whatsoever. But I promise you that during the first week, you'll start to remember, one detail at a time, your last dreams. So I really do recommend a notebook, but again, you could use anything. The last thing is a sleep app, some sort of sleep app. I'm using one that looks like this. I'm not gonna advertise it. So you could use any kind of sleep app that registers the times you go to bed, and it registers your body activity during sleep, how much you move during your sleep. So you can basically take a look at the graph that is created by the software, and you can see, after so many hours after falling asleep, I entered deep sleep. And after so many hours after entering sleep, I was during REM sleep. And this really helps you figure out at what times you wake up in the evening, at what times you wake up at night, so you can try to wake up at those times if you really want to remember your dreams. So for now, that's all from me. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'd love to see you next time. See you then.